You may think you're cool, but you're not sitting in an E-type Jag with white walls and wire wheels in the snow of Ohio in 1962 kind of cool, are ya? Stand by. Hey everybody, I'm James. Welcome back to RATTLECAN FAB SHOP. What I learned this week at school, the cold open was just a nifty photo we found in this house underneath a player piano when we moved in 2017. We have to be careful. There is El Gato in the house, who's apparently claiming everything. He's just rubbing left and right on whatever. Anyways, what I learned this week at school. Monday was a holiday, which just means you do like yard work and stuff. So Tuesday we were right into math class, and I am attempting to figure out how to put algebraic expressions in my calculator that kind of takes into account order of operations. And as you can see by this example, I hadn't figured something out. So if I have a crazy expression, you know, something raised to the power divided by something, then what I have to do is I have to put my own parentheses around like what's in the denominator. And it just takes screwing it up sometimes to kind of figure out that that's what you're supposed to be doing. So anyways, that was Tuesday at math class. Wednesday, interpersonal communications. We're talking about cultures and co-cultures. Culture is the culture that you can't really escape. Like, you know, it's very possible I could be characterized as a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant culture member. I can't really escape that. But co-cultures are things that you slip in and out of. If you are, let's say, if you're a machinist, you can kind of slide in and out of that machinist identity. If you are a car guy, you can slip in and out of that. And the lingo that you use with your machinists may not be the same lingo that you use with your car guys. So we have to write a prompt on what identify a co-culture that we're part of, and how using the cultures or the customs or whatever from one culture could cause issues in another one. And the one that I used was when I was talking to a car guy about a head, and the head was warped and it needed to be shaved, and I said, you know, it's no problem, we'll just shave a couple tenths off of it. And his eyes got just big, gigantic, because tenths to most of the world means 0.1. Tenth to a machinist means 10,000ths of an inch. I think I explained this in the last one. Well, I just had to put it into my prompt. And then you have to respond to two other prompts. This is all online stuff. You have to respond to two other similar prompts from your classmates in the context of what we're discussing, which at this point is mostly me and Mushmouth, but is co-cultures. So, if you identify with being a spouse or a military member or something like that, that's what's going on. And then we're getting ready to have to write a paper. And then in machinist class that evening, we're still chasing this bench block. Let's look over here. We're still chasing. I finally finished up the inside, getting the inside of my bench block hollowed out to 2.38. We had plus or minus 1/100th of an inch. I shot for the fat side. because if I have to, I can always go back in and I can always skim a little bit off. That's the way I tend to do my measurements. Is if I have a tolerance, and I will try to make it. I will try to make it so that if I have to do some adjusting, I've left meat on the bone, as it were, to do. Using the boring bar, using a carbide insert, I want to say that my feed rate was 12 thou. My RPM was like 560-ish something, and my cut is depth of cut is 50 thou. So then when I finished with the inside of that, then now I have to get it cut down to length. It's supposed to be an inch and 44, and it's, I don't know, whatever it is. It was 2 and something. So you can see I still have a ways to go. The surface finish on the inside is, I think, quite nice, fairly acceptable for something you're just going to like beat a pin out on. But I'm really kind of pushing this thing to cut through this. I'm not worried about depth of cut, or I'm not worried about a surface finish right now. So I'm sped up a little bit just because I can only take 50 thou at a time, and I can run, according to my instructions, I can run 500 to 700 RPM on this carbide cutter. So I'm kind of eking up towards the 650 range, and my surface finish is not as good, and that's okay because I'm just hogging stuff off, trying to get close to that 1.44 dimension. And when I get down to like, I don't know, inch and a half, then we're going to slow it back down to 500. In fact, I'll probably cut my feed rate down just so that I'm going to get that nice surface finish, because when we're done, it's going to go get carburized and hardened. We got to get it to 35, whatever that funny number is when you talk about surface finish. And I just want to hit it. If I get a nice, decent surface finish on it now, and I'm close enough to be in parallel like I need to be, then it's going to be a little easier on me. I'm just going to be kissing stuff off when we go to surface grinding. So that's what's going on in machining class. And then the next day, took a math test, and here are the categories of which our questions could be pulled from on our test. And I got a 96, and I'm almost 100% certain that the questions that I got wrong are because I misremembered my conversion from inches to millimeters. I think I put something like, I don't know, 25.4, I don't know, something. I put something wrong. So I think that's where my point, I'll find out. I'll find out on Tuesday where I did wrong on that. They got a new display in the auto. I don't know what it is about the auto building. There's stuff is just constantly changing in there. There's a pretty cool fire engine in there from a brand I had not heard of. Now I am not an aficionado of the fire engines, but this was a brand that I was unaware of, and it was just, it wasn't there on Tuesday, and it was there on Thursday. It's just crazy how stuff changes in there. Just gorgeous gold leaf on it. Interesting. It looks like 2 spark plugs per cylinder on that engine. I didn't have a lot of time to look at it, but and who knows if it's going to be there again when I go in next week. So what else did I do during the week in my free time? Well, Mrs. Rattlecan is out of town, so I have having to pick up some of what she does around the house. So I'm in charge of opening and closing our garden beds. Right now, I have the hardship task of harvesting strawberries in the morning, which oddly enough never make it into the house. I had to go do my annual fasting bloodletting up at the base, and poor kid who had not, it's the bad thing about military medicine is a lot of times when you go into these bigger institutions, it's always somebody's first day. This kid was just shaking, and I'm like, dude, it's going to be okay. Just point the needle upstream, bevel up. You'll feel it when it pushes through. Just pull it back just a little bit. You'll be okay. And he kind of dug around in there like a fishing expedition. He finally got it. So I got this big fat bruise on the inside of my arm. And I told him, it's fine. It'll be okay. He's like, have you done these before? I'm like, I have done hundreds of these. You're going to be fine. You just got to get over the hump to where it's just an everyday thing. So that seemed to kind of put him at ease, which we all need from time to time. And I'm mulching again. I'm on my third truckload. This will make 12 cubic yards of mulch we have laid down on our property. I also found something very odd, that while during the week, since Mrs. Rattlecan's not here, she usually sits out on the back and, enjoys the life of leisure out on the back porch. Well, since she's not here, we had someone come in and kind of set up camp on our back porch. And if you look at the image, look up at the top, you'll notice that there is a bird's nest on top of our ceiling fan. This is out on the back patio area. There's all kinds of grass and straw that Mama Robin has collected. And luckily I got to it. She hasn't laid eggs in it yet, so it's fine. She's just been evicted. But now, as you can see from the photo, she sits there and she watches me. And I might be a bit afeared, because, if you ever saw Hitchcock's Birds, this could go south fairly quickly. Anyways, and then I also built a kind of a make-do temporary ramp system up into the back of the new shed. The video's up for that. I'll put it somewhere in here in case you want to see that. And so now I'm trying to think of what I want to do to keep critters from crawling up underneath there. And do I want to stick with this ramp? Do I want to build something bespoke that will take lots of time and probably a pile of cash with the prices of lumber right now? I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, that is what I did this week at school. I'm still actually kind of compiling a list for a couple of different channels on the people that I watch, because we're always looking for new people, looking for if you're a consumer of YouTube information like I am, I'm always looking for somebody doing something that I have, a new person, that's doing something that I haven't seen done before. So I'm kind of working on something like that. If you've got a favorite person that you see on YouTube that you think I don't know about when it comes to the field of machinery or fabrication or welding, let me know. Put something in the comments down beneath the sermon notes, and we'll take a look at that. Anyways, I'm going to go. I have an Excel project that I have to bungle up, get it turned in. So anyways, I'm James. This is RATTLECAN Fab Shop. Remember, if I can make a 96 on a math exam, you can make a 96 on a math exam. You guys have a good one. Cheers. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to spend it here with me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Here's one that you might enjoy as well. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit that button, hit the bell next to it so that you get a notification when we drop a new video. If you've got comments, put them down beneath the sermon notes. And remember, if I can do it, you can do it. You guys have a great weekend. Cheers.